From rare Pokemon spawns to items and upgrades you can miss, here are a ton of early game changing tips for Pokemon Legends ZA to help you on your adventure in Lumio City. Starting with these game changing settings. You want to open up your menu by pressing X and hit the L button. On the bottom right, you'll see help and settings. You can then head over into the settings tab over here. Now, in the beginning of the game, there is so much text that happens on your screen, so in order to speed that up, just go ahead and tab that over to fast. If controller rumble does bother your hand, you can completely disable that, and if you want your mini map to rotate with you, because I know some gamers like that, you can select the rotate button. The game is by default fixed, so if you like the map moving like this with you, as you see in the top right, that's how it's going to look, and if you like it fixed like me, this is how it's going to look if you start to rotate around. If you are shiny hunting and you're trying to pay attention if you hear a shiny sound, make sure to turn down the background music all the way low, especially during that time. That way you can find that shiny with no issues and the music won't bother you. And you can play your own songs in the background while gaming. There are two big movement texts that your character can do in this game. The first one is pressing the B button in order to dash. Please make it a habit to not hold down the B button, as you don't need to do that and your thumb needs to be free while you are fully sprinting away from an enemy. Use this during your Rogue Mega Evolution battles or whenever you're in trouble. Now keep in mind that when you do slow down, your character stops like this, the full run stops. So you have to repress the B button again in order to run. Also, you have another utilization, which is the Y button. You can sprint at the same time and use Y to cover a greater distance than non-sprinting and using Y. So it just gives you a little bit of momentum, not too much, but just a little bit extra that you may need, and you need to learn how to combo these when fighting Rogue Mega Evolution Pokemon. Please note that you cannot use the dodge button or the run sprinting button when you are targeting locked onto an enemy with the ZL button. So if you want to run around, you can do that. Here's another pro tip. When you're fighting Rogue Mega Evolution Pokemon and you don't want your Pokemon to get damaged, you can simply just withdraw them just like that, and they will not take any damage at all. One of the biggest mistakes any player can make in this game is not placing a hard manual save before you are encountering a rare Pokemon or a shiny Pokemon, or even if you're trying to catch an over-leveled powerful alpha Pokemon. If you notice that a Pokemon looks like it's hard to catch, place down the hard save and then throw your Pokeball at it. If it's not able to be caught, then you can go ahead and reload your game and you'll be in the exact same spot. Here's an even more fun thing that you can do. You can get right to the point where the Pokemon is knocked out with stars on its head and then save the game right there, and when you load the game, the Pokemon will load up with the stars on its head, saving you time from having to knock it out again, and you can just keep catching it over and over. If you don't believe me, here is a clip of a shiny alpha Avalugg that I kept resetting until I caught it. There are 4 different types of items that you'll find on the floor or on platforms in this game. Red Pokeballs are going to contain EV training items, evolution stones, or leveling up items, and a ton more. Yellow Pokeballs are always going to contain TMs in it, or if you don't know, those are going to be Pokemon moves that you can teach your Pokemon. And these are a permanent usage and don't break after using it. Purple Pokeballs have one purpose in this game, and they're going to be for getting an item called Colorful Screws, which can be used for upgrades. There are also sparkling items on the floor, but you don't have to pick these up. You just have to walk with your character over it and it automatically will go into your inventory. So avoid the habit of pressing A when you're walking on top of them. After you visit Mabel, make sure to teach your Bunnelby Rock Smash, that way you can break the rocks. Once you're done with that, go ahead and re-enter Wild Zone 1, where the Mareep are just sitting right over there, and then turn towards this gate here and break the rocks. After you rock smash all the rocks, you're then going to make your way up the ladder. And when you are up on this ladder, you'll see a Pidgey there. Go ahead and catch that to add it to your team. And then wrap around and you'll see that there is a Pichu right below you. Just drop down real quick. Make sure to sneak in the grass because Pichu also runs away. So place a hard save just in case. And when it turns its back around, it's when you want to throw your Pokeball, as you have the highest chance of catching it. And if you caught everything else that was obvious in the zone, you then will be able to fully have Wild Zone 1 complete. From Wild Zone 1, what you want to do is exit out of this area over here. Just confirming. Let me open up the map again so you can see. And then follow this pathway. Turn right over here, this little corridor. And what you're going to do is just rock smash the rocks in front of you here so you can get through, then climb up the ladder right here. Hop on top of this and then climb up the second ladder. Now, right in front of you, you're going to see a Flabébé, so you can catch that and add that on to your team to get a fairy Pokemon. Once you catch your Flabébé, turn your camera right, and in the distance, you'll see that there is an Abra here. Make sure that you are very careful when approaching this Abra, so go ahead and maybe save your game, place a hard save down if you need to, and then climb up this roof here. Quietly, just wait for it to turn its back. And if you don't, it disappears. However, just be careful, and when its back is turned around and it's not looking at you, go ahead and catch that and add it to your team. If you fail, just reload your save and do it again. You'll be able to catch Abra before even heading over to Wild Zone 5. Mabel's task that she has for you is probably the most important thing in this game, especially if you care about getting a bunch of rare items. Make sure that you're always opening up the menu and going to Mabel's research to claim any rewards that have not been claimed in your game. They don't automatically go in your inventory. You must manually claim them all. Also, you can scroll down the entire list to see what rewards are available, and if you make your way all the way down to the bottom, you'll notice that you'll get something like a Master Ball and a Shiny Charm at the final levels. I'm going to say this now, and I'm going to mention this to everyone. Just make sure that you battle 1,000 trainers in this game and use this as your motivation. That's it. That's my only tip I have. You battle like crazy because the points, the request to get here is a lot. When you tab over to request, you're going to see all the requests needed to level up. If you look in the top right corner, it tells you how many more points you need to achieve that next level. So use this as your guide in order to get these moves and rewards from the previous section. After you get the TM Rock Smash from Mabel, you then can get access to link play, which means you can do ranked battles, private battles, you can link trade, and even access mystery gifts. Speaking of mystery gifts, did you know that you can get a free Ralts holding a Gardevoir Mega Stone already in the game? Even before you've unlocked Mega Evolution, all you have to do is just open up your menu, go down to link play, and then click on mystery gift. After clicking on mystery gift, then press get via internet. You'll see searching for gifts. Then you can select Ralts and its Mega Evolution Stone gift. You'll then get a cutscene showing a gift box drop down, and you'll receive your Ralts. You'll then be able to Mega Evolve it and use it as a powerful Psychic Fairy Pokemon in your party. When you're in a battle and need to heal your Pokemon, you could spam the X button or press it once depending on where you are to open up the menu and use a healing item. Make sure to pay attention to the timer that appears on the bottom, since you can't use another healing item until it's complete. Make sure that before you enter into a battle that your D-pad is selecting the right Pokemon on the bottom left of your screen. Whenever you start a battle, it will throw out the one you last left it on, and if you made a mistake and have to switch it out at the start, there would be a slight delay in the Pokemon and you might have a little bit of a disadvantage in time. You get full freedom to run around Lumio City and explore once you are on main mission number 5, which is called the City in the Shadow of Prism Tower. This is after you talk with Emma and you are given 3 side quests, and to confirm this, you can just open up your map and you'll see the circles with the exclamation point. A quick tip, for side quest number 3, you'll have to battle a Sableye, and make sure you manually save when encountering the Sableye. That way you can guarantee yourself a catch early on, because Sableye also gets a Mega Evolution, and it's a great addition to have on your team as a Ghost Dark type. Now, this is extremely important. Once you complete all 3 side quests and talk to Emma, 2 major things actually happen in the game. Alpha Pokemon start to spawn in the wild zones on rooftops, basically in various spots of the game, and the day and night cycle starts. So before you turn in this quest, there are a few things that you should do, and don't worry, I'll show you how to get rare Pokemon soon, including Lucario, which was on the thumbnail. The first thing you should do once you get freedom in the game is to create fast travel points across the map immediately. This is something that should take you between 15 to 20 minutes, but will make your life very easy when you have to get around Lumio City. Head to every Pokemon Center and step inside, and you'll get the notification of it being unlocked. If you walk by cafes or plazas, you'll also unlock them as fast travel points. Walking into wild zones also act as fast travel points. If you come across any restaurants, you must walk inside of it to make it a fast travel point. Elevators are extremely important for getting you on top of buildings where a lot of rare Pokemon spawns do occur. However, these elevators don't appear on your mini-map until you walk by one and then use it to teleport up to the roof. As you can see here, it does appear on the mini-map once I do this. Elevators that can't be accessed are going to eventually be made available by doing side quests, which will have a Holovator related quest. Let's talk about Pokemon Centers. Besides being a location where your you're going to heal your Pokemon or be sent to after you black out in a Pokemon battle. You can also buy items here for healing, as well as Pokeballs, Great Balls, and as you progress in the game, Ultra Balls will eventually show up here. However, the big thing that every player should keep in mind is that you can actually sell items at the Pokemon Center, as you'll be picking up a lot of valuable treasure. So make sure you press ZR to go to the sell tab after exploring a while, and then tab all the way with R to the final icon that says sell your treasures and get yourself a bunch of money. Make this a habit to keep coming back to and getting rid of as you make a lot of progress in the game, because money is really important. Outside of the Pokemon Center, there will be a lost Pokeball NPC that gives you back Pokeballs that you have thrown away that has completely missed a Pokemon. That's basically just if you have bad aim and you're missing, come back here, he gives you those balls back. So if you had a rare Pokeball, you're fine. If you want to see how accurate this NPC is, check this out. I'm going to throw one Pokeball, and the notification just pops up ASAP that it's lost. So always make this a habit to check in with this NPC after going on a catching spree. Speaking of Pokeballs, one of the most important places to go on your map is the Pokeball Boutique. To get over here, you want to make your way over to Restaurant Leia, which you can fast travel to by walking inside of it, and then just walking up the street until you arrive at the Pokeball Boutique, and you'll know you're there because there is a giant Pokeball on top of this little shop. And once you access it, you can see that these are the stuff that you can purchase. You could get heal balls, net balls, nest balls, dive balls, dusk balls, timer balls, quick balls, repeat balls, luxury balls. Now, the most important ones that you should get are going to be quick balls for catching a Pokemon for the first time with the most efficiency, repeat balls, which have an increased chance when you've caught the Pokemon before, and for when it's nighttime in the game, dusk balls. These are personally my 3 favorite Pokeballs that I have caught in most of my Pokemon in, but of course you can get any Pokeball you prefer. This is just for efficiency's sake. In Pokemon Legends ZA, you have to catch a lot of Pokemon. However, if you do that, you will get boxes that are just packed full of Pokemon that you may not want. So a big pro tip that you can do is open up the boxes and then hover over to a very empty box. For example, this is box number 8, it's empty. All you have to do is go into a wild zone and then just catch them. So I'll just go ahead and do this so you can see. We'll speed up the footage. And then when I open up my boxes, you will see that they are all in box 8. This is why it's important to tab over your boxes, be organized, and then you can get rid of the junk Pokemon so they don't take up any of your room if you're not going to use it, by pressing ZL, highlighting them, and then pressing the X button to release them all. So that's how to stay organized in this game. Here's another important tip. Hit that like and subscribe button and turn on notifications, because there will be a ton of insane Legends ZA videos just like this one. Now let's get that Lucario that you clicked on for the thumbnail. That's going to be a very powerful Pokemon that you can have early in the game. And I'm serious, we're going to get you Lucario right away. Open up your map and head over to Restaurant Leia. If you want to know its exact location, here's the center point of the map, and it's going to be on this street right over here. From Restaurant Leia, I'm then going to put a pin marker right over here, but you can follow along for the video. So make sure you're facing this direction, yellow little postal deposit, and then we're going to go this way. You'll see Rouge District show up, then make a hard right on the screen right over here. And then you'll see a ladder to your left as we arrive on the marker, and an NPC here. Just go ahead and climb up this ladder just like this, and then we'll reach the top. Now, once we're at the top, you have to find a gap in the bushes here in order to catch, well, that Riolu right in front of us. Then make sure to hold down ZR and select the Pokeball that you're going to use ahead of time. In this case, I'm going to use my quick balls, so I'm going to select that. Then what you want to do is drop a hard save just like this. Then I'm going to wait for Riolu not to be looking at me, and I'm going to sneak up here just like this, get my quick ball ready, wait for the most opportunistic strike when there's 3 bars like that, and then throw your quick ball. Once you catch your Riolu, you're going to make your way all the way over to this spot right over here, No Viao Cafe, or you can choose to go to any other cafe of your choice. I just like coming over here because the game introduced this to me early on, and I like the people here for some reason, and I like spicy food and their coffee seems spicy. Then all you have to do is make sure that you go into your boxes, select your Riolu, place it into your party, and then make sure your D-pad is selected on Riolu. When you then go ahead and talk to this person, order a coffee. I like to pick the burn up roast, and then sit down and just have a nice little drink with your Riolu. By doing this multiple times, this is going to increase the friendship of Riolu, and since this is daytime and Riolu needs daytime to evolve, it's basically going to be in the perfect evolving conditions in order to do this. And then eventually I got the notification for Riolu to evolve into a Lucario, and I was able to evolve it, and just like that, now I have a Lucario on my team. By the way, if it wasn't obvious, going to any cafe is going to be very important for leveling up the friendship of your Pokemon. And just make sure that they are selected when you are doing a whole entire cafe experience. That way they're the Pokemon receiving the friendship bonus. You know this because they'll be out with you just like me and my Eevee in this shot. Now you've seen Eevee footage in this video, but let me show you how to exactly get an Eevee early, and you can do whatever you want with that Eevee. Make your way over to the Vernal Pokemon Center, which is south from the middle, right over here. So from the Pokemon Center, just walk out just like this, and then make a left immediately right over here. There will be rocks blocking this direction, so if you have your Bunnelby that already knows how to break it, have your Bunnelby break the rocks. And then you're going to go down here, and you'll find the Eevee right here that you can catch and add to your team. In the game, you'll also come across these little obstacles that help you cross platforms. So for example, like this ice here, you hit this with the Pokemon and it'll extend out to a complete ice bridge. And on top of buildings, you might find a little tiny cobweb. If you hit it, it'll expand out to this giant cobweb. So you can use these to create pathways to traverse various areas. In this game, experience candies rack up pretty quick. So make sure to use them and not just hoard them all the time. It's meant to be used and you keep getting them as you play the game. After defeating the trainers in a ZA Royale, make sure to check if the defeated trainer has yellow text box pop up above them. If they do, just talk to them and you'll be able to get valuable items like medals, rare cards that give you lots of ZA points, or even healing items. ZA Royale difficulty increases as you actually rank up in the game from a promotion match. So if you are noticing you aren't getting enough experience while farming it, or the enemies are much lower level than they should be, make sure you do a promotion match after getting the challenger ticket if the main missions are telling you to do so. When you get colorful screws in the game, one of the most important unlocks is getting the Racine Construction fast travel point on your map to do exchanges for plushies. If you haven't reached this or it doesn't show up on your map, go over to the Vert Pokemon Center, and from there you're just gonna follow this street of Station Front all the way until you arrive in front of this building. Now the fast travel point does not unlock unless you walk inside of the building, which then you'll get the notification that you have unlocked it. Then what you want to do is talk to the person in front who says trade your colorful screws for Canary plush dolls here. Never forget about this NPC as you go through the game. Now they have various plushes in the game. The red Canary plush is going to help you increase the amount of experience your Pokemon gets. If you're trying to level up your Pokemon very fast, this would be a great one to invest in. If you want more gold in this game, you're going to have to invest into the gold Canary plush. Gold is going to be important for buying a ton of Pokeballs throughout your game, as well as being able to purchase stones from the Stone Emporium. The pink Canary plush is going to be really important if you want to increase the amount of shards that you farm from knocking down these mega shards that appear everywhere in the game. The higher upgrade, the more that drop. These shards are going to be really important for trading in later on in exchange for certain mega stones. You also want to make it a very big habit in this game that when you see these mega crystals, you want to break them immediately. So just make it a habit. The green Canary plush is going to be really important if you have a hard time during boss fights. Normally, when you are engaging in a rogue mega battle or just in a very dangerous area where there are a ton of Pokemon attacking you, you can black out pretty quick. What the green Canary plush does is give you a little more buffer room to take more damage from these Pokemon without immediately blacking out right away. So if you struggle with those game mechanics and find that hard, use this upgrade immediately. The blue Canary plush is by far, in my opinion, the most important one that you want to focus on in the early game, as it's going to allow you to have a higher chance at catching Pokemon. This is really going to help for rare Pokemon, a little bit higher level Pokemon, and alpha Pokemon that you may come across, so you don't have to keep reloading the save and trying to catch it if you follow that other tip that I mentioned earlier. These colorful screws are really easy to identify in the game, as they are these purple looking Pokeballs that are just on the floor and they have a little glow glowing light that shoots out from it. And most of the time, they're going to be found from these obstacle courses that you encounter in the game. Another big pro tip when you're trying to grab these colored screws is when you see the obstacle course and there might be a big gap, to utilize pressing the Y button as you quickly dash forward so you can jump onto another platform successfully. If an obstacle course seems like it's not possible to do a Y roll over to, then you have to wait until later on in the game until you get a new rotom feature which allows you to glide across obstacles. So if you're stuck, just remember you can clear this later with the new upgrade. Having a Pokemon on your team that knows a move that can inflict poison or status conditions on an enemy is going to be one of the most broken strategies in this game. I suggest in the early game you catch a Weedle and use it to poison sting to your advantage, since it's caught in Wild Zone 1. During your first ZA Royale, there is a powerful trainer that has a much higher rank than anyone else you're fighting there. After you clear the easy trainers, get close to the entrance where this trainer is. You'll know because she has a Pidgeotto, and then make sure to have your Weedle or Kakuna if you evolved it out, and drop a hard save before approaching. Sneak up and attack with a poison sting for advantage, and if it didn't get poisoned, you can follow up with another poison sting. If this for some reason fails by the second sting, just reload and try again. If you successfully get the poison on the Pokemon, you can just let it knock out your Pokemon, and this is where we're gonna go into the next tip, which is using the timer stall to let a status effect last on another Pokemon. So in this clip, you can see I'm not sending out any Pokemon. I'm letting this timer tick until I'm forced to send out a Pokemon, and the poison is just doing massive damage on Pidgeotto, which I'm going to keep stalling out by throwing in fodder Pokemon until it finally dies. The next Pokemon that this trainer has is going to be an Onix, and all you have to do is just take out a Pokemon that has a super effective move against it. I just used a water attack to get a super effective hit on it, and you'll notice that you'll get a ton of early game experience for your Pokemon, which is huge, and medals that will give you a nice amount of gold after. Remember that Pokemon do not automatically evolve in this game. When you open up the menu, you'll see the up arrow on their icon indicating you can evolve them. You then can go into it, select the option, and evolve your Pokemon. Don't forget to change the moves on your Pokemon as they level up, and don't forget that you can also tab over to the TMs and see which ones you can equip onto your Pokemon. And you don't have to guess because the game puts all the ones that are compatible with your Pokemon right there in that menu. Another really important building in this game is going to be the Stone Emporium, which is located south of the Vernal Pokemon Center, and the building looks exactly like this. As you approach it, you'll see that the icons for evolution stones show up, and we can take a look exactly what is in here. Now you can see that there are basic stones like the Fire Stone, Thunder Stone, Water Stone, Leaf Stone, but you'll also notice that there are 3 fossils: Jaw Fossil, Sail Fossil, and the Old Amber Fossil, which is going to be for Aerodactyl. If you're wondering where to get these turned into Pokemon, it's not possible at this part of the game, as this is going to be a side quest that involves coming here. So don't waste your money buying these fossils right now because you cannot convert them. The side mission for this is number 27. We'll touch up on this in a side mission video. Now, as previously mentioned, once you complete the Emma questline, you'll get access to the day and night cycles and alphas starting to spawn in your game. On the top left of your screen, there is a circle indicator around the map indicating when the day cycle will be over and then shifted to night, and this also works when it's nighttime. It'll complete the circle and it'll go back to daytime. If you want to change the time manually, you can either sleep in your bed at Hotel Z, which is very inefficient, or the much faster way is to sit at any bench in the game and select the option to kill some time, which will then bring you right into that time. If you want to make a ton of money and gain experience, I really suggest that you spend time grinding battle zones at nighttime. The more prize medals you acquire during these ZA Royales, the more money that you'll get. Character customization is big in Pokemon Legends ZA, and there are various locations where you can buy outfits and change up the style of your character. If you open up your map, anything with a shopping bag will reveal a ton of clothing stores. If you zoom in further on the minimap, you can then hover over every single clothing store to read the description of each one to see what shop may interest you without having to travel all the way there. But I do suggest heading over there and taking a look at all of them. Once you purchase an item, you can immediately equip it from the shop screen, or you can open up the menu with X and then press the minus button to equip it and change up your outfits. And if you're wondering, yes, you can wear any single outfit you see regardless of the character you pick at the start of the game. There are also scissor icons on the map, which are salons. In salons, you can change your hairstyles, change up the bangs on that hairstyle if it's compatible, change the entire hair color, use color blocking to have it look like this, or get a balayage, which is my favorite one, and you get a ton of color options. Also, side quests unlock more further in the game. If you open up the menu and press the minus button and then press ZR, you can move to the looks, and without paying any money, you can change your eyes, change your color contacts, eyelash shape and color, eyebrow shape and color, lip color, and you can even add things like beauty spots, freckles, and dark circles, which is a lot without spending any gold. Once you feel you got your character that you want, you can then go over to the ZA Royale page, and then you can press Y on this screen, just like this, and take a new photo to update the one that you previously had. So whatever you want to do, that can be your photo. Or if you just want to take a picture of your Pokemon, that could be your ZA Royale photo. Once you're all ready to conquer the early game, subscribe and click on this video right over here. Seriously, it's good. Watch it.